Hello everyone. So let us see the types of amplifier and amplifiers. What is amplifier and what are the types of amplifier uh, with respect to sensors and transducers. So basically here the amplification or somewhere when we measure a non-electrical signal, and if you wanna transmit that signal for a longer distance, that is where the concept called telemetering. When you want to transmit this kind of signal from one place to other places for recording purpose or for processing or any other thing, so sometimes the signal strength will be very low. So in that case we may need to do the amplification over there. So based on that amplification, the amplifiers are used, or amplifier is a device which is used to increase or augment the weak signal. If the signal are weak, we strengthen the signal so that it is able to measure, able to record, or able to do any process control for a given system. So here it may operate on mechanical, so which is nothing but a levers, gears, etc., or optical, or pneumatics, or hydraulic, or electrical, and electronics principle. So we know what is a gain. Gain is nothing but output by input. So where the gain of the amplification is expressed as G is equal to I naught by II. IA is the input current, I naught is the output current. Output by input. We can write with respect to the voltage also. The gain can be written here. So here are the few types of amplifiers. The amplifier on the basis of principle of working. So these are the types which have been categorized based on the principle of working which is given here. It is mechanical amplifier, fluid amplifier, optical amplifier, electrical and electronics amplifier. We will see one by one in detail about that. What are types of amplifiers are available with respect to mechanical, fluid, optical, electrical and electronics amplifier. So this is a first type, it is a mechanical amplifier. So mechanical, whenever you want to amplify the signal with respect to the mechanical system, so the basically it is called as a simple and compound lever. The levers are nothing but which is used to increase the signal. So where you, the best example I can give to just recall that the lock which is present, which has a levers, where the levers will be connected over there, right? So the same way the levers will be connected to increase the signal or increase the connectivity which is happening from one point to other point. Based on the levers, the connection will be done over there. So similarly, so simple and compound gears. So once again, the gear is one more device which can increase the speed. Suppose the speed is say 5 rpm. That 5 rpm can be increased to 1000 or 2000 rpm using the small levers by connecting the levers to the driven gear and driving gear. The same way we can connect and we can increase the speed, right? So windmill consists of the same kind of a gear. So these are the two main things frequently which are used for mechanical amplification. So here are a few limitations with respect to mechanical amplification. The mechanical amplification is easily earlier stated, usually suffers from the error caused by the following factor, that is a internal loading, friction at mating parts, elastic deformation, backlash. These are the four major factor which has been caused the limitation for the mechanical amplification. That is the internal loading which is happening because of the lever, because of the gear, the load is been more, internally load is increasing, and due to the friction between the gear teeth or the levers, right, and due to the elastic formation of few of the parts over there and backlash. Because of these there is a limitation for making use of the levers and gears with respect to mechanical amplifier. Next comes the fluid amplifier. So where it is a hydraulic amplifier and pneumatic amplifier. So hydraulic, where they make use of a compressed they make use of a compressed oil for hydraulics, and air for pneumatics. So they make use of a compressor. It consists of in hydraulics. It consists of a tank, oil tank, where the oil will be pumped using the motor. Once you pump the motor, oil will be pumped. So the pressure will be created over there in terms of bar. So that oil will be given to the actuators or pistons, where actually the movement will take place. Your best example, your JCBs, which you can see that. So JCBs operate on the hydraulics only. So where it consists of that pressure which will be created, and the pneumatics, one more example, where the compressor consists of a compressor over there, which collect the atmospheric air and create a pressure, and that pressure is given 1 second to actuator or any piston to for the movement. Another best example for this pneumatics amplifiers are nowadays you can see in the buses, BMTC buses or any other buses, the opening and closing of the door of the buses, which operate on the pneumatics only. So they make use of this kind of hydraulics and pneumatic for the amplification in a fluid amplifier. And next comes the optical amplifier. So where in optical amplification, a ray of light strikes a mirror with an angle of incident I and get reflected with the angle of reflection equal to the angle of incidence. So the light will be passed, so that light will go strike on the mirror. The angle which will be created in the mirror, it will be reflected back. So that reflection angle is called as a reflection angle incident. So when the mirror rotates through an angle theta, and the angle of incident changes to I plus theta. So I is a incident angle from the mirror which has happened. When the mirror also rotates, it adds one more angle, that is I plus theta. So before rotation, the mirror, the angle between the incident ray and the reflection ray is 2I, and after rotation it will be 2I plus theta. So because theta is a addition thing which is happening because of the rotation of the mirror. So angular modification of 2 theta between the incident and the reflection ray is being calculated. This is where the light and the mirror combination things will be used in a optical amplifiers. The last one is electrical and electronic amplifier. The electrical amplifiers are used to increase the magnitude of weak voltage or current signal resulting from a electromagnetic transducers. So if the voltage and currents are very weak, they use electrical electronic amplifier. They make use of a op amp or here or any other devices to increase that signal here. So the desirable characteristics for electronic amplifier which need to have high input impedance, so that the loading effect on the transducer is minimum. So in the mechanical, we have been seen that there is an internal loading, right? To avoid that internal loading, the input impedance should be high. When the input impedance is high, the current will not flow. So hence, the loading effect on the transducer will be minimum. And low output impedance. If the output impedance is low, the amplifier is not loaded by the display or recording devices, because the current can flow easily. So the output impedance will be avoided with that because of the low output impedance. The frequency response should be good as that of the transducers. So where the frequency, as the change is happening, the output should respond according to that. This is with respect to the types of amplifiers. Thank you.